my personal opinion, the Newfoundland Rogues are defying odds. For me, I was a bit skeptical coming into this game as to whether they could really hold their own as to a 5-1 record, as they've only really participated and played against teams that haven't really had their mark in the BSL yet. This is their first game against a familiar BSL opponent in Sudbury, and they're on top at the half. For Sudbury, this is a top team in the league. They're loaded with star-studded talent, and they're expected to be at the top of the BSL this year. They have a 3-1 record. They're doing everything they can to be a top team. But nonetheless, this is a great contest. I'm definitely blown away with the talent on the court. Well, the BSL is in the swing of their second season, and these teams are more competitive than ever, Nick. There's no real clear favorite coming out of the first 6-7 weeks of the season, which is something that I didn't think I'd be saying, considering the London Lightning, as dominant of a team as they were a season ago, they didn't really find their rhythm until their third or fourth game. They were 500 at the start, but now they've won their last 3 in a row. They stand at first place in the BSL at 5-2. But after the Lightning, it's a big kind of knotted race for the second, third, and fourth place spots. The Rogues right now tied with the Sudbury 5 after that 2-game split a couple of weeks ago.
A lot of back and forth basketball in this one. No team running away with it. Both teams had their own little throne of offensive production being out in front. It's ultimately London with the 3-point lead right now, but this could definitely go anyone's way. Glass City had a bit more momentum starting this one, but they kind of cooled off. They never really found a certain efficiency, like Devontae Pratt shooting 5 for 13, Delonte Brown shooting 3 for 9. But I do want to know, Devontae Pratt with 8 rebounds, leading Glass City and the game in general in that category. Pratt not being a main big man here, definitely showcasing other skills to go with his scoring. For London, Tonzel Haney really defying odds and stepping into a bigger role in this one with 8 points on perfect shooting. It's Joel Kindred with the game high in points, though, 13 points off 4 free throws made and 4 field goals made as well.
Good evening, everyone. I'm BSL reporter Kolby Marsh, and welcome inside the Rogues Report here in the Mary Brown Center. I'm joined here with the newest Newfoundland Rogue, Grady Cancu. Grady, welcome to St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. First, when you landed on the island, what were the first impressions that you made of when you saw the island? You've played professional basketball for a little bit now, and before things really tipped off for you in the BSL, you actually trained with Rajon Rondo a little bit. So, with Rajon having a very different physicality and play style, what kind of lessons did he have to offer you, and how did you inherit them into your own game? The durability of, like you said, an undersized guard is very crucial to a successful career in basketball. Is there any kind of tips you would give to any undersized guards that are still trying to make their way in pro basketball right now?
The Gales are really thriving with their dump and chase game here early in the first 5 minutes of this contest. They like to send it down the ice and chase for it. For the Gales today, they want to capitalize on the power play, and they're very strong on the power play. They're managed to score a lot of goals. The TMU Bold not very well at defending the power play, so they can definitely take advantage with that, as well as capitalizing the wealth. The Gales, they're very good with distributing the puck, getting assists on goals. They have some of the most assists in the OUA. So if the Gales can contribute to that, they'll easily come out of here with a W. Even on Wednesday, when TMU took on Western, they scored 6 goals, and most of them came in the second period, where they got the shots on net, they got the goals past Western goaltender and their defense, and that could definitely be translated into another game with them being down 2. They got a bit of grounding work to work on, but anything can happen in this game. The Bold have scored 11 goals in the last 2 games. They've created offensive opportunities for themselves against the likes of UQTR and Western, but as we said before this game even started, this is a strong, different kind of level of competition that the Queens Gales put up for the TMU Bold, and it's shown. They haven't gotten any goals past Christian Purbu. Purbu has stood his ground. They haven't been able to get the shots through him, and we're going to have to head into the third period with a chip on the shoulder for the TMU Bold. The third period definitely kicked it up a notch. A fluky goal from Ian Martin to get TMU's offense going. Queens was able to recover, get an insurance goal there from Cameron Tolnai, but it was ultimately the end of the game that really kicked up the flares. A big win for the Queens Gales to ensure them that 10-game above 500 advantage.
What a strong period for the Bold, not showing any signs of letting down from that 4-0 deficit yesterday. A very different team coming out, as I'm sure you have seen and I have seen, as well as the fans here on OUA TV. What a great contest to see from the Bold. For Ontario Tech, it's a little break now that you got to go back into the locker room and reset, regroup, and be able to come out with more strength against this Bold team. It was a quick goal from Dale Chinnick that kind of got things going there. It was a shot that went off the pads of Zoe McGee, it looked like, and it was able to kickstart the Bold with a 1-0 lead. And then Ava Caputo came back with a great tip, top shelf past McGee, as we see the Chinnick goal there to execute the offensive start. A great game all around, 14-4 the shots on goal, something you definitely want to note for the Ridgebacks coming out into the next second period. Only 4 shots on net. That's something you definitely got to work on, as they almost had a goal there. It was almost right on the goal line, but TMU able to recover and keep that 2-0 lead.